So Rango starts off as Rango's basically he's in a container and he's acting kind of crazy. He's obviously on something like Johnny Depp is all the time because Johnny Depp voices Rango. Did I mention Rango was a horrible movie? Anyways, so he falls off the car that he's in, and his pet owners completely forget about them. They don't care, and he kind of crawls over to the other side, and he meets some guy that's been run over. So that's cool. He goes in the desert, and then he gets chased by some eagle thing, and the eagle chases him around. And he's in a glass container, and he's running from it. And this thing has its heart set on killing Rango. But Rango doesn't give a shit. Rango, he runs away, whatever, hides away for a million years, blah blah blah. He crawls into this tube thing to get away, and it's kind of leaking like sewage or water or something. It's leaking something, and he knows. So he's like, "Oh, cool." And then he wakes up, and it blows a bunch of water out from Adam, and he goes onto the thing, and then he tries to get all the water, and it dries up in like steam or whatever. And then this girl waddles over, and she's like, "Hey, Rango, what's up?" Well, she doesn't know his name. She's like, "Who are you?" And she's acting all westerny, and Rango's like, "What are you doing here? This is crazy western stuff." Rango thinks that she's got like spices in her cart, but it's not. It's just all of her dead relatives, and he tastes it. He's like, "Oh, this is good," and she's like, "That's my grandfather." She's not completely offended that Rango just ate like her grandfather's left testicle or something. Like she doesn't even care. So Rango follows this girl back to this nasty village or something. It's in like some western thing. There's gunslingers everywhere, a bunch of drunk people, all these little dirt poor kids and stuff running around everywhere. It's really just a horrific sight, and no one's happy. So they take Rango in like to this tavern area or whatever, and they're like, "Here," and he's like, "Can I have some water?" And they're like, and they all start laughing because it's so funny because water's like apparently so hard to come by here. And he's like, "Oh, here, you can just have some cactuses." So he drinks the cactus juice and he burps fire all over this guy. And then whatever, and then none of them gets really too angry. So after that, I think Rango gets attacked by the bird thing again. I think it comes back, and I think he do something. But anyways, somehow Rango becomes like the king village guy. I don't know. Everybody loves him. He's the new best person in town. He's the new face, and everybody loves him. But he goes over, and at some point he sees like how much water the entire village has, and it's like nothing. He has no water left in the village. So Rango's like, "Oh shit. There actually is no water." Anyways, they get this water from some magical spout. No one really questions where it comes from or whatever. They just say, "Oh, it's from God or Jesus or something." And then they want, of course, because Rango's the new face in town. They're like, "Hey, Rango, why don't you go collect the water from the magical spout this time?" And the mayor's like, "Yeah, Rango, you should do it." And then they twist it, and like a bunch of mud falls on Rango. They're all like pissed at Rango. They're like, "Rango, you did this. Jesus doesn't like you." So now everybody's like dying from dehydration. They're all pissed because Rango didn't get them any water. So I think what happens is they're like, "You know what? Fuck you, Rango. Get out of here." And so Rango walks away in the desert, and they have this cool time lapse thing with his badge, his sheriff badge or whatever he was. And he walks away, and he walks across the street, sees the dead thing again. And then he meets a guy in a golf cart. Like I don't know why it was a guy in a golf cart, but he tells him some really wise stuff, and Rango's like, "Okay, thanks." And he walks away, and he comes back. He's like all new, cocky, and ready to tell the mayor, give him the big middle finger. The mayor's like some corrupt guy. I don't know. But Rango's like, "Guys, the mayor's got tons of water." The mayor's like, "Bullshit." And so I guess like all these weird cactus plant things start shivering, and they walk over. And they follow the pipe, which I don't know why no one's followed the pipe yet, but no one has. And they follow the pipe, and everybody's like, "Holy shit, let's follow these plants." And they follow the plants over, and there's just an entire city or something that's using all their water, and they're like, "Holy crap." And I don't know how the mayor's involved. The mayor's like taking a little bit of the water. He knows where it comes from, and he's been tricking all these fucking poor people for millions of years. And they're all like, "You know what? Fuck you, mayor." And I don't know. They twist the spout or something, and the village gets flooded. No, they didn't even get any of the water. It's just flooded the village now. So it's basically mud now. And then Rango's like, "Yay, it's a happy ending." And then, surprise, surprise, the mayor like hires some hitman. His name's Jake, and he's a cool snake. Yeah, unintentional rhyming there. So Jake's got like his tail, and his tail's basically a gun. It's the coolest thing. It's like the best part of the movie. This is the best part of the movie. And he sits Rango down. And he's like, "Look." He's like, "I'm going to kill you, Rango, because you did all this." And Rango's like, "Oh, crap," or whatever. And I don't know how they fight it, but Rango, like, basically runs away as Jake tries to murder him for several minutes or so. And then the bird comes and, like, kills the snake or something. And there's that whole thing. And then Rango's the hero of the day, and that's the end. After that, I don't really know what happens. I don't think Rango ever really gets home, and that girl or whatever lost her chameleon for like ever. I'll see you guys later, cause Rango sucks. Don't watch Rango.